Hi, bonjour. The purpose of this recording is to help you go through your units 1 through 3 vocabulary so you can retake that vocabulary test. How this works is I'm going to review the key topics from these units. There are going to be practice questions. You're going to write down the letter that corresponds to the correct answer to each question, and these letters are going to make up the password for the retake version of the test. So here's your Unit 1 vocabulary. Some of the most important words to pay attention to. Salut, bonjour, et bonsoir, all ways of greeting people. Au revoir, à bientôt, à demain, and also salut, ways of saying goodbye. Asking comment ça va, how are you, and then the ways to answer. Comment t'appelles-tu, and comment vous appelez-vous, what is your name? And then je m'appelle, my name is, and enchanté, as nice to meet you. Of course, you need to know l'homme, femme, la femme, le garçon, and la fille. Just generally important words. And then knowing these questions and how to answer will serve you well too. Some words that you'll see from your school vocabulary: la classe, le bureau, le tableau, le livre, le cahier, le papier, le stylo, le crayon, l'élève, avoir une bonne note, apprendre, étudier, and enseigner, all important words to be familiar with. So choose the best answer to this question. Comment dit-on nice to meet you en français? Okay. Unit 2 vocabulary, we have our adjectives, countries, and numbers. You want to definitely know these adjectives very well and be able to use them. So use those flashcards to work through all of your adjectives. And same thing with your numbers. You really need to know those even up to 100. For nationalities and countries, most of them have a pretty similar appearance. Just know nationalities are not capitalized in French, but countries are. So the United States would be capitalized, but things like American or French is not going to be capitalized. And then the question, d'où viens-tu? Where are you from? And answering with je viens de, I'm from. So choose a word that best completes the sentence. Je suis allemande. Je viens or je suis de where? And then our date and time vocabulary. Of course, you want to be familiar with the ways of giving time using those expressions. Your days of the week: lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, and dimanche. The numbers up to 100. And the months of the year: janvier, février, mars, avril, mai, juin, juillet, août, septembre, octobre, novembre, et décembre. And then knowing them in order and how to use them in a series. Asking the question, quelle heure est-il? And answering with il est and the time. And also knowing du matin, de l'après-midi, et du soir. So choose the best answer to this question. Quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? And then question number 4, complete this series. We have mardi, jeudi, and then what? All right, so here are the numbers listed out all the way through 100. There's a Quizlet flashcards to help you practice with these. And after 20, it all kind of starts to repeat, though it does get a little weird around 60 and through the 70s, and then 80 as well, which we talked about in class. So when you get to 70, instead of having a new number, they continue counting 9, 10, 11, 12, keeping 60, the word for 60 there in front. So 70 is 60, 10, 71 is 60 and 11, 72 is 60, 12, etc. When you get to 80, they did come up with a new word. So it's 80, literally 420s, which is going to be used all the way through 99. So 90 is 420s 10, 420s 11, 420s 12, etc. And then you get to 100. Cent, think century, which is 100 years. Most of these are pretty similar to the number with ant at the end. So 40, 50, 60. So you can remember them that way. Like I said originally in class, though, you really have to know 1 through 20 to be able to count in French. You have to know those because you're going to repeat those as you go all the way up to whichever number you want to count to. So choose the number given by these words. 75. All right. So before you take your retake, you might want to go through those Quizlet flashcards several times to really make sure you know this vocabulary. You can use the password that you got from this recording to unlock the retake version of the test. And feel free to request a learner conference or come to office hours if you need any additional help with this vocabulary and using it in context. Hopefully this was helpful for you and you feel like you have a better handle on your units 1 through 3 vocabulary. And I will see you soon. À bientôt.